Comic Friday.
Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Friday, where we discuss comic books and mangas based off of video games. As 2016 comes to an end, I'd like to dedicate this Comic Book Friday to a compilation released earlier this year, Super Mario Adventures. So what is this? Throughout 1992, from January to December, 12 comics based off of Super Mario, drawn by Charlie Nozawa and written by Kentaro Takekuma, were serialized in, at the time, very popular game magazine, Nintendo Power. Now, some of you might be scratching their heads right about now, asking, Nintendo Power? Game magazine? See, there was a time where the internet was not quite the hotspot for video game news and media that it is today. Gamers had magazines to fill that void, and Nintendo Power was a magazine published in North America which focused on Nintendo consoles and games. They were full of colorful images and art, and many times, a lot of it was actually unique artworks by Japanese artists who were commissioned for the magazine. They also came with original posters, and they sometimes ran comic books, such as the Legend of Zelda comics, drawn by the legendary Shotaro Ishinomori, as well as the Super Mario Adventures comic, which we're talking about today. Opening the book greets you with vibrant colors everywhere. The art style is clean, very faithful to that of Super Mario World. It's also full of funny and playful visual gags. They sometimes even play with the text, as you can see here with Bowser turning both the toads and the letters of their screams to stone. The panels also play around with their layouts to strengthen the impact of many of the gags. The coloring seems to be made with Copic markers and pencils, and the result is a lot more colorful and unique than many other comic books at the time, easily surpassing that of other Mario comics. Of note is that the printing quality and the color contrast in this compilation is much better than that found in the original Nintendo Power publication. The story might sound familiar if you've played any Mario game before. Princess Peach is preparing to throw a party when Bowser suddenly invades the Mushroom Kingdom, turns Mario and some of the Toads to stone, and proposes to the princess with a rap song before leaving. This makes the princess burn with anger, and she chases after Bowser, hoping to beat the living crap out of him. Okay, so no, this is nothing like your usual Mario story. This is already like at least 1,000,000 times better. Mario eventually does get rid of his curse, and both he and Luigi set off to stop Bowser and find the princess, meeting Yoshi and other colorful characters along the way. Among them, an original character who goes by the name Friendly Floyd. He's a lovable scumbag who seriously needs to make a comeback in the Mario universe. Speaking of which, this might very well be my favorite portrayal of the Mario universe. That was not too hard back in the 90s, but this applies even to this day. It's easily the funnest and most interesting version of any of these characters. Peach very easily steals the show here. Instead of simply being kidnapped again, she actually goes after Bowser. It's already a nice twist on the tired kidnapping shtick, but then, even when kidnapped, she actually breaks free on her own and escapes without the need of being rescued. In fact, Mario ends up being the one getting kidnapped twice in this comic, and Peach is part of the rescue team. The first time, she's also full of badass moments like this one, where she claims to be an unstoppable force. She's even a gamer, and we see her play a Mario game, of all things. All things considered, I'd like to think that this is what the real version of Princess Peach is, and why I'd love to see her become playable in more games. Mario himself is also fleshed out a lot more in this version. In the games, people have already pieced together, over the years, that Mario is actually a huge asshole with everyone around him. Now what if I said that was already covered here? The end of the book ends with a Wario comic where we see that Mario was the one responsible for the way that Wario turned out. He traumatized him in childhood and, even as an adult, Mario continues to torment him. Even the way he defeats enemies in these comics is pure assholeness. It's a very faithful portrayal of Mario, I'd say. Fans of Luigi should know that he's featured throughout the entire comic as well. Not only that, Luigi has moments of leadership, planning out and succeeding both of Mario's rescues, making him the MVP of this book. He also cross-dresses, twice. Oh, Luigi. Even Yoshi gets to surprise readers. Did you know that he is the chairman of the Dino Chamber of Commerce? Well, now you do. Finally, Bowser is all kinds of funny, and is the perfect comical antagonist to the wacky set of main characters. He sings, skips around, and bursts into tears, all the while pretending to be an evil, cunning badass. Super Mario Adventures also manages to have fun with a lot of the weirdness of the games. For example, Mario and Luigi buy a Yoshi language guidebook to try to communicate with the Yoshis. But Yoshi is the only word in their language. Later, when Mario and Luigi encounter Boos, ghost enemies who become paralyzed with shyness when anyone stares at them, Mario pretends to be a psychotherapist to treat that condition. Now, that's not to say that everything is perfect, and that there aren't any problems. As I mentioned earlier, this book was commissioned by Nintendo Power to appear monthly in North America. The book had to be made for Western audiences in mind, and there were obviously some culture clashes involved. This is evident in some of the dialogue, which sometimes reads kinda funny, or simply makes no sense. This compilation actually changes some of the lines for some reason that isn't really detailed in the book, and to be honest, some of the jokes make even less sense now. The comic series was also published in Japan, and compiled in a different compilation, though I personally have not read that version yet, so I don't know if the jokes make more or less sense there than they do here. Another problem with this publication is that it's missing a Mario vs. Wario comic book from 1994. For some reason, it's really too bad, as that would have made this compilation complete. That said, it's still a great book, and anyone even remotely interested in Mario, who missed out on reading these comics before, should give it a chance. Since it contains most of the stories in a single book, it's far more convenient than reading them in separate magazines, and the printing quality is much better than it was originally. If they ever make another Mario cartoon, or movie, or anything, I hope that they based it off of this book. That's it for this week's Comic Book Friday. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, do post them in the comment section below. For similar videos, don't forget to visit my channel, where I look at comics, movies, and all sorts of things based off of games. Well, until next time!